Okay, so we've all heard the term post-truth. It gets thrown around all the time, right? Usually it's just another way of saying fake news or talking about political lies. But what if it's something way, way deeper than that? Today, we're going to peel back the layers of this buzzword and really look at the powerful forces that are reshaping our very relationship with reality itself.
Our story really kicks into high gear in 2016. I mean, think about it. You had the US presidential election, the Brexit vote in the UK, and right in the middle of all that, this once obscure philosophical term just exploded. Its use shot up by literally thousands of percent. This was the moment a concept from the ivory tower crashed headfirst into our daily lives.
And yeah, people definitely noticed. The Oxford Dictionary's crowned post-truth its word of the year, which was a huge signal that something fundamental was shifting in the way we talk to each other. But what did it actually mean?
Well, here's the official definition. It's a world where feelings have more sway than facts. Simple enough on the surface, right? But as you're about to see, the real story is so much more complicated and, honestly, more interesting than that.
This is a totally fair question. I mean, politicians lying? That's not exactly breaking news. Thinkers like George Orwell and Hannah Arendt were warning us about this stuff decades ago. Arendt basically said that being truthful has never been a top priority in politics. So if lying has always been around, what's different now? To figure that out, we have to ask an even bigger question first.
Right. Before we can even begin to understand a post-truth world, we've got to get a quick handle on what we even mean by truth. And, as it turns out, philosophers have had a few different takes on this for a very long time.
So you've basically got three main flavors. The pragmatic theory says, hey, truth is whatever works. The coherence theory says, truth is what fits in neatly with everything else you believe. But the big one, the one that's our gut instinct, is the correspondence theory. A statement is true if it actually matches up with the real world. Simple. It's raining is true if you look outside and, yep, rain is falling. And it's this common sense idea of truth that's in real trouble today.
So here's the absolute heart of the matter. Our ability to connect what someone says to the actual fact, to check if it corresponds with reality, that connection is getting weaker. It's breaking down. And why? Well, a huge part of it is just the sheer distance between us and the facts themselves.
Just think about it for a second. We almost never see major events with our own eyes. A thing happens, some source sees it. That gets processed by an institution, then reported on by the media, and only then, at the very end of this long chain, does it get to you. Every single step adds another layer, another filter, between you and what actually happened. Now, this chain used to work, more or less, because we generally trusted the links in it. We trusted the institutions, the experts, the media to be reliable truth tellers. But today, that faith is in an absolute freefall. More and more people believe these institutions are just serving themselves, and you hear that sentiment captured perfectly in phrases like, drain the swamp. And here's the bottom line. When you can't trust the chain, how can you possibly trust the information that comes through it?
This whole crisis of trust didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's the result of what you could call a perfect storm, this massive convergence of four huge forces, all crashing down on us at the exact same time. Okay, wave one, disruptive technology. This one's a biggie. The internet, social media, algorithms, they've unleashed an absolute explosion of information. We're drowning in it, and we're often stuck in these little filter bubbles that just feed us more of what we already think. Technology isn't just a tool anymore. It's become the gatekeeper to our entire reality.
Wave two is that dwindling faith we just talked about. It's this widespread feeling that the elites, the experts, the institutions that we used to look to for answers, that they don't really have our best interest at heart, and that just guts the authority of all the traditional truth tellers.
The third wave is a little more philosophical. You had these really complex ideas from postmodern thinkers that question whether a single objective truth even exists. And over time, those deep ideas got watered down and distorted into this kind of populist, anything goes, or, well, that's just my truth attitude, which just makes everything even murkier.
And the fourth wave? Politics. The fight is no longer just about what is true. The fight is escalated. Now it's a battle over who gets to decide what even counts as a fact in the first place. Who are the referees? Who's even making the rules of the game anymore?
So, when you take these four massive waves, disruptive tech, crumbling trust, twisted ideas, and vicious political battles, and you slam them all together, they don't just add up, they multiply. They create this single, overwhelming tidal wave that is fundamentally challenging our ability to make sense of the world.
So when all these forces collide, what does post-truth really become? It's not just about lying. It's not that simple. It's about something much more fundamental. It's about us, as a society, losing our ability to navigate reality.
And that brings us to a much smarter, much more useful definition. Now notice the subtle shift here. Post-truth isn't just people deciding to ignore facts, it's about the entire system we all rely on to clarify reality. That system itself is becoming damaged, weakened, and totally overwhelmed.
The philosopher Harry Frankfurt gave us a fantastic way to understand a key symptom of this new era. He draws a line between a liar and what he calls a bullshitter. Think about it. A liar knows the truth. They actually respect it enough to try and hide it from you. The bullshitter, on the other hand, doesn't care one way or the other. They are completely indifferent to whether what they're saying is true or false. And it's that profound indifference to reality that has become so dangerously common.
And that leads us to this final and frankly pretty chilling thought from Hannah Arendt. She warned that the ultimate danger isn't that we'll all just start believing lies. The real danger is that we'll lose the sense by which we take our bearings in the real world. We'll lose our compass. And the question that leaves us with is a big one. What happens when we can no longer agree on the map of reality itself? What happens when we all lose our bearings completely?